say where my life really got impact, and one of our biggest fights is the fight against one of the worst evils in the world, and that's the fight against human trafficking and child exploitation. And that started not long after I graduated college, and my dad, who's a pastor missionary, was in a country where faith isn't allowed, and he's in an underground pastors conference, and
Which country?
I can't tell you.
Oh, wow.
And he's gathers pastors from all over. So the underground location.
It's like early Christianity.
So they don't get arrested, and they can go back to their village and love on their communities. And so they're in an underground location, and my dad's with these pastors, and there are other people in this underground location. And then some men enter with 4 little girls, and they start an auction for these 4 little girls. God. And one of the reasons why my dad's just one of my biggest heroes and role models, he's just not someone that can look away. It's not in him. And so he takes out all the money in his wallet, which was about $1,250 for the rest of the trip and to get home. And he's able to purchase the freedom of these 4 girls.
Wow.
And then after that, he calls me, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, how's the trip going? What are you up to?" And, I'm not ready for the response. He's like,
I just bought 3 girls.
4.
Thank God, yeah.
And I'm like, "What?" And I just couldn't help but say, "What did all the pastors do?" Because these are people that are called and commanded to love, serve, right? And he said, I don't know if you want to hear. I'm like, "What do you mean? What did they do?" And he said, "Nothing." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because they had really good excuses. Like, the man that you just gave that money to, they're probably going to go do something evil with it," which is probably true. But go say that to those 4 girls. And it's so easy. And I was so convicted by this so many times, because it's so easy for us to find ways to make really good excuses. Like, "Oh no, I'm going to do it one day. Hey, one day I'm going to serve. One day I'm going to be part of something. One day I'm going to make a difference." And we live a one-day life. And we miss so much of the impact that we could have made because we just focus on us now and maybe other people later. And so after I had this conversation with my dad, not long after, I got to fly to this location. And by that point, we had already gotten to start caring for more kids. And the first little girl that I met that ran up to me was a little girl that didn't make enough money one day. And her mom, being in a place of desperation and frustration, took her and boiled out her eye.
Oh, my God.
Because she thought, if you can't make enough money this way, then maybe if I make you look worse, maybe they'll give you more. And I was just, whoa. Trying to figure out, what do you say to a boy or girl about what love looks like, about what trust looks like, about what a Heavenly Father looks like, when their thought of love is just the first person that raped them. And they have no idea about trust. When their idea of a father is the person that sold them. What do you say? And I still don't know that I have any form of a good answer, except I know our heart is just be consistent. Show up again and again and again for every one of these lives that we are called to serve. And that was a big catalyst for me to get into the fight against human trafficking and child exploitation, and even worse than that, forms of child sacrifice, and just a lot of evil that takes place.
Do you think that Americans are aware of how prevalent this is?
No.
Can you, it's really difficult to hear you describe these things, but can you maybe paint a picture to...
Yeah, it's hard. I'm grateful that you even want to ask to talk about it, though,
I just think that
it's really
we
important.
hear about it in like a movie or something like that.
It's like an abstract concept.
Yeah, and
so to give a little bit of a context for it, we'll get to that in just a second. But so there are more people that many experts believe that are in slavery now than ever before. 50 plus million people that are in slavery. Wow. The slavery business is about $236 billion a year business.
Jesus.
That's more than all the NFL teams combined, with a lot left over. And it is one of the worst evils in the world. And it is happening all around the world at a massive scale. but it's also happening right here in the U.S. And right now, this year, somewhere between 300,000 to 1 million people will be trafficked in the U.S. And so many of those will be minors. And trafficking is a horrible, horrible evil. But also something that's really important to highlight is the exploitation
of the traffic.
No, the exploitation. So a lot of people bunch them together, but they're a little bit different. Trafficking is primarily done for profit. Exploitation is primarily done for pleasure. So exploitation is done on the most of the time on the internet, and there'll be like peer-to-peer networks that someone download a peer-to-peer network, and they will share child rape videos, and they'll be part of groups that goes back and forth. And we just think this is happening, over there somewhere. But I pulled something just for you guys. Can y'all pull that up? You see that? Those red dots? This is New York State. That every red dot is a unique IP address that is downloading and sharing child images and videos. And that's just the last 30 days in the state of New York.
Jesus.
Whoa. And is the FBI arresting these people?
Well, do you see the blue dots? Those are the ones that are being investigated.
That's
so
it.
just investigation?
The blue dots are the ones that are being
Look how
investigated.
But if you have a confirmed
Blue
IP address that's sharing this type of content,
So it's a good conversation, and a lot of people will say, well, how are they not doing more? Our law enforcement, can areas get better? Of course, but our law enforcement is so undermanned. It does not have many places, does not have the best tech. They are undermanned. There is a few people that their job is this. It is not a lot. Like we have, we want to talk about all these things and they can't, and defund them. Listen, when you defund them, you're not actually caring for these boys and girls. I think we need to escalate how many hires we have, especially in victim identification, to keep these boys and girls safe. It's one of our bills in Congress. Is the Renewed Hope Act is so that we would hire more victim identification specialists to be able to identify these boys and girls so that we can knock on that door and go safeguard that
why
child.
do you think that this is not unanimously supported or even spoken about? Like it seems
We've
like
been speaking a lot about it.
Of course you guys have, but like,
Why is it not amplified?
yeah, like
I think it makes
would
a
say
lot
no
of
to
people
this?
uncomfortable. Well, we wrote our bill specifically in a way for right or left, because for us, it's not about politics. It's about people, especially people that are suffering.
Yeah.
And this is trafficking, except this is just trafficking down the hall.
Yeah.
The number one offender in this, biological fathers.
no way.
Whoa.
Yes.
Do you think people aren't doing more about this because we feel, oh, this is a problem over there?
I think that is a big part of it. Yes. I feel like we think it's just over there. And
Over there meaning overseas.
overseas.
other
We think
countries,
it's Taken, Liam Neeson. We think
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
of these other things when it's not. We have so many issues that are taking place right here in our country. And I could keep going off list. We're the number one buyer of for boys and girls around the world. America is.
Meaning like videos of it? or
Yes,
something?
we pay for the rape of boys and girls in the Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Thailand. Like we're the number one buyer in peer-to-peer sharing of this information. We're third worst in the world. China, Russia, U.S., and Italy's fourth. Like this is one of the worst evils in the world, and people think, well, we're not doing that. Yes,
we
are.
do
So
really think that.
I know we do.
Yeah.
And that's one of the, our hearts is to get this, message out, to be able to make change and then support our law enforcement and task forces that are working on this. Cause there are some freaking heroes that are fighting this every single day, but they do not have as good of technology most of the time as those with the goal to do evil. They just don't. And they're also, do you know how hard it is for these law enforcement officers when you wake up every day and you watch a video of a an
Jesus,
infant of
I
an
mean-
18-month-old, a 9-month-old. When you watch, and that's one of the number one burnout rates for law enforcement.
I mean, I
is
can't imagine.
when you do that.
Yeah,
And I think it's something around 3 years for them. But you take a year to be trained up, and now you're burnt out. Now you got to bring someone else on, and it's like, how do we have the manpower to do that?
I mean, as much as you want to stop it, like somebody has to, I guess, watch and verify the
This is
video.
where AI could honestly be helpful.
But that's
Yeah,
where
let AI
we
verify
are
it,
working
yeah.
on a lot of AI, and there's a lot of amazing AI, and there's great AI. There's AI that we're investing in and trying to build up to give to law enforcement. There's facial recognition, there's pattern recognition, there's RFID. There's so many things that there's a lot of people trying to fight back against it. It's just they don't have it doesn't have the same awareness. People aren't talking about it. Like, in my opinion, this is one of the worst evils in our country, and it's something that people don't want to talk about.